Today, I'm going to be working on a trailer that I just did to help with the release of the next podcast for this upcoming Monday, specifically on SB 1123. You're just going to hear me listen to the whole podcast and watch me comment on what I would change to do, especially for the trailer afterwards, right? Let's kind of see what comes out of
I would say you can even find maybe $250 per square foot for the construction cost. But then again, it depends on what kind of finishes you prefer for your development. Is it just like a base, the very minimum, just for the rent units, or maybe you're gonna sell them separately as more of a higher end townhouses, like a nicer neighborhood or something. So I would say starting from like 200 or 250, depending on the contractor that you can find, and going all the way up to no ceiling there. But generally, 300 is about that. But I would say 250 slash 300.
What kind of pushback might people expect to get even with the SB 1123 implementation?
What's interesting, after LA, actually, they issued a memo for SB 1123 specifically for City of Los Angeles. They said that some of the rules do not apply, for example, encroachment claim. In R1 zone in the city of Los Angeles, there's an encroachment claim rule which says you have your setback. From that setback, you have to go up 20 feet and then in 45 degrees. And this is your invisible line, and you cannot encroach into that. Even though the height limit is higher, technically, you still cannot encroach into that plane, and it kind of keeps you like this. So with SB 1123, they don't require that because you have zero setback between the lots. Same goes with the plane break regulation, which is like 5 feet beyond your setback. So with SB 1123, you don't have to do that. So there is like a whole array of laws that you actually can avoid with that. This is the single family zone. You can see like existing flag lot here, right? So it's already a flag lot. And it already has this kind of large existing residence, which is almost like 4,000 square feet. They're not gonna demolish this existing house. So what we need to do is we need to carve it out and take the rest of the property, which is now is considered empty, right? So now it's eligible. We're gonna work through that, like within those boundaries. Important thing to know is that the street is up here. So it's a really long driveway till the very end of the lot where we have our 10 parcels. So this is specifically City of Los Angeles, and they require a little of frontage with the street. That's why you can see those little stripes here, like 12 inches wide kind of connection that goes all the way there and connects to the street. The lot, as you can see it's almost like rectangular, but technically it's a flag lot with this little piece going all the way up. So basically the remainder lot is this. We're not touching that. And then this is what we have as a result. And each of those lots, you can see that the very minimum is like 1243, right? You cannot have it less than 1200 per parcel. But you can see this really weird shape happening, like here again, see that little tail that kind of goes around that other lot and then goes up. And then what's interesting here actually, with the setback requirements, they have a rear and side setbacks at 4 feet, but then between the resulting lots, like whatever this is, like the boundary between the lots, it's 0 feet. So between those lots, we don't have the setbacks. Now, if we look at closely at this portion, like this is the original property line, right? So from this original property line, you have to have that setback of 4 feet here, right? But then for this lot, you can see that it has its own little property line here in between. So technically, this is also zero. Like this lot, it has the setback. This lot doesn't have the setback here. So that's interesting. It's just like it allows you to play with the shape of it to be able to provide the most efficient layout.
We've completed over 80 SB9s, worked in over 40 jurisdictions across the state so far. We've created in excess of 50 or $60 million in new property value across the state. We've identified about 54,000 properties across the state that are eligible specifically for SB also. But to put that in context, like 50,000 plus properties that are preliminarily eligible, under 100 that we've completed, and I think across the state numbers combined, total is it's less than 150 or less than 200 total that have been completed.
Hmm, that's good. So I really liked how that trailer was cut. Primarily because I think what we did there was quickly get into the construction costs, understand how to make a deal work. I think what we're missing there is what lots are actually. Let me kind of see. So here we talk about.
Specifically for City of Los Angeles, they said that some of the rules do not apply to a starting from Tama all the way up to no ceiling there. But generally, 300 is about that. But I would say 250/300.
What kind of
So from 44 to the pushback.
Nothing exists as regular flat lot, right? So single families. This is
Maybe I can actually stop at 142, not go into the screen share. Because sometimes when you go into the screen share, you do lose some folks. So maybe I'll do one trailer where instead of the screen share, we actually talk about what lots would typically be good for SB 1123. 142.142 to 401. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. At 142 to 401, that was the screen share. Let's cut, do one more trailer version where we delete the screen share part from 142 to 401 ish. And then put into the trailer what lot size are typically best suited for SB 1123. What lot size are typically best suited for SB 1123 implementation, which I think Joseph said was about half an acre. But please research this and then help me find the right clip include into that section. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna work on putting this into. Yeah, I'm gonna update a trailer because I will also want to include right away what lots work for SB 1123. And if you find that clip, let's actually put that into the beginning of the put that into the beginning of the trailer. To build like before Joseph saying they've done 80 SB9 implementations. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to go about this. So I want to make sure quickly, one, Lou hits on the different types of costs associated with building, and then she discusses what the city of LA, for example, allows you to override. And then we're going to go into, okay, well, what lot sizes will work, and then kind of finish it off with why listen to the rest of it, and just to show how Joseph have done over 80 SB9 implementations, right? This is how we kind of get right into it. So hopefully this helpful, everybody. You got to peek into my brain on how I spent a disproportionate amount of time on the trailer because I think it's really important. I want people to get as much value as possible right from the get-go. All right. Have a good one, everybody. See you tomorrow for day 831. Have a good one, everybody.